Very good morning to all the viewers of Q News English. This is Vijay Rana from our studios in Telangana, Hyderabad. And today let's have a quick review of the headlines for Deccan Chronicle. Starting with which we have, we witnessed the Shera yesterday, and again the Nimarjan happened, and I'm surprised to see, the idol of Lord Ganesha as well, along with goddess Durga, being immersed in the Hussain Sagar Lake in Hyderabad on Tuesday. But it's a beautiful creation out there, a lot of colors and a lot of vibrancy. Organizers of Durga Puja Pandals immersed the idols after worshipping them for 9 days as a part of the Navratri celebrations. Elsewhere, the city resonated with Batkama and Dasra celebration. So I also happened to witness one of the Batkama celebrations, as I discussed earlier as well. What a beautiful and colorful event it was. And since Telangana is poll bound, so we have KCR to resume poll blitzkrieg from October 26th. Now, Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao is all set to resume his campaign for the Bharatiya Rashtriya Samiti for November 30th Assembly elections after the Dussehra festival break. So Dussehra was considered as a break and the campaign will start again. And not only TRS, that will be the case with all the parties. Whoever misses the bus. Now this is the most important time when every party needs to campaign full-fledgedly. Now moving on, the entire schedule has been given, and different constituencies that he will be visiting. There will be a lot of rallies also that will be conducted. And however, according to senior BRS leaders, there was a possibility of adding more meetings for him to address. He could address 100 meetings before campaign comes to a halt on November 28th. The date of polling is 30th November, they said. So November 28th, and he will be conducting hundreds of meetings. So we will have to see what is the counter that will come from BJP or Congress side. So we'll just have to wait and watch for the other parties. And I think the campaign has already begun for BJP, wherein Modi says get rid of beliefs against India's growth. So he again, on the event of Dussehra, Modi asks people to take 10 pledges to help India develop. Now he's actually referring to the 10 days of puja that we do, Dussehra, those 10 days, that's what he's referring to. So every day you need to take a pledge. That's what he is calling out for, and calling upon people to defeat forces trying to divide the country with casteism and regionalism. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday said Dussehra should also mark the burning of ideologies which are not about India's development but about fulfilling selfish interests. So there is a hidden message out there. So of late we saw that Congress is demanding for a caste-based census, owing to which, there is a hidden message out there. He says, defeat forces trying to divide the country with casteism and regionalism. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday said. So that is what probably he is referring to if I try to decipher the lines out there. Now moving on, that's what my opinion is, but he might be referring to, I don't know. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday said Dussehra should also mark the burning of ideologies which are not about India's development but about fulfilling selfish interests. Addressing a huge gathering at a Dussehra event here, Modi said the festival, that was in New Delhi, the festival should not be confined to burning of Ravana's effigies and Lord Rama's victory over the demon, but also mark the triumph of patriotism over every evil in the country. And he said his comments were an apparent swipe at the opposition party. So I was not the only one to interpret it that way. The editor also interpreted it in the same way. Whom he has repeatedly accused of seeking the divide to divide the country in the name of caste and religion to draw political mileage. Well, people, please do let me know, a caste-based census, will it divide the country? That already exists. It very much exists in our society, although since we were brought up, personally speaking, I come from an army background. My father was in defense, so the way we were raised, there was no caste system, no religion, nothing, we did not have any differentiation. All of us were the same. We used to reside in a quarters, and everything was same for us, the way we were treated everywhere, be it in our school. But once you come out of the school, once I completed my 12th, I did my graduation again, the college was more in a defense related area, and a lot of children were, my classmates were all the children of defense people. But once you step into the society, once you grow up, you start working, or you start participating in social events, that's when you get to know, and for people like me who come from a background wherein I did not even know what is my caste, and what is the caste of the person I'm speaking with, what is the religion. It did not matter to us. But once I see it is very much prevalent in the society. As I grew up, people started asking the forms that I was filling. There you ask for caste. Why? Why is the caste asked at the first place? Every government form will ask for your religion, will ask for your caste. Why is that? So why don't, if that is the case, then we should remove that also. And if that exists, then what is wrong with the caste-based survey? Now that will give us an opportunity, jitni abadi utna hak. That's what is going to happen. So let's say if there are 500, let's say there are 10 lakh BC, population out there, and they don't have even a single representative. Is that fair? Is that fair? That is not fair. They need to have their own representing them, somebody from their community who understands what are the challenges a particular caste is facing, what are the challenges a particular community is facing. That's what I think, with the prevailing system, ideally it should not be there, but it exists. We cannot deny the fact that it exists, and it has to be taken care of. So once we have that census, they will have an equal representation, and that's also important. The power remains in the hand of very few. So that has to be taken away and given to those who actually deserve it. We should pledge to end the social ills and discrimination, he said, adding that every evil which disturbs the social harmony should be burnt as well. With the 10-day Durga Puja festival being marked with Ram Leela, Modi noted that a grand temple dedicated to Lord Rama is being built in Ayodhya. So, you see, we have a tendency to forget things. Now, be it Deccan Chronicle or be it any other newspaper today, if you see, where is the mention of, the war that is going on between Israel and Hamas? Where is the mention, of the war that is going on between countries like Russia and Ukraine? There is no mention of what Pakistan and Afghanistan is going through on their borders. We tend to forget. We were very keen to read about those news. Mizoram, what is happening in Mizoram? What about the Kukis and Metis? Nothing has been mentioned out there, and we also tend to forget. But BJP out there, and that's a very good move from their side. I would like to acknowledge that move from their side. Whatever might be the forum, their think tanks or their leaders, all of them together as a team, they do not miss out on highlighting their achievements. On every forum, on every platform that they get, they highlight their achievements so that it remains fresh in the memory of a common man. Now, Ayodhya, the case was a big issue, and for centuries, And all of us were very keen as to what would be the verdict. The verdict came, the construction started, we all forgot. How many of us every day remember the Ayodhya case? We don't. But BJP will make sure, BJP will make sure that you remember it. Whenever he will address any, rally or any social or cultural event, he will make sure that you remember what was achieved during their tenure. Now these are the achievements as far as BJP is concerned. So he said Ayodhya, and he said everyone's, and it will be for everyone's good, for good fortune, that they are witness to it after centuries. So he said we are all lucky, all of us are really fortunate to witness this event of Ram Mandir being inaugurated. Bhagwan Shri Ram has, Bhagwan Shri Ram bas aane hi wale hain. Lord Ram's arrival is imminent, he said, asserting that prayers at the temple, Bhagwan Ram hamesha se the, but the way he will present is emphatic. He'll say Bhagwan Ram bas aane hi wale hain. So it is so impressive, and people keep that in their mind as well, that okay, BJP got the temple, the Ram temple built. So nice way to highlight your achievements. Further to this, he said prayers at the temple during the next Ram Navami will spread happiness in the entire world. Okay, the construction of the temple, he said, is happening amid many auspicious developments, and cited India's successful lunar mission. Now, yet again, how many of us actually remember Chandrayaan every day? But Modi ji will make sure that we do. That's what politics, and what a beautiful orator he is. The way he frames his sentences and make sure we don't forget anything. Inauguration of a new parliament building and the enactment of a women's reservation law. We also forgot that this law was passed this month, and with by both the houses. Lord Rama is coming under such auspicious signs, he said, after 75 years of independence, India's fortunes are now going to rise. And Modi also asked people to take 10 pledges, including helping at least one poor family to raise its socio-economic status. The country will become a developed nation when everyone is developed, he said. As long as there is even a single poor person in the country who does not have basic facilities, we will not rest. That's what he had to say. Also, moving on, what we have here is Bhagwat faults foreign forces for Manipur row. So Mohan Bhagwat, I think it is Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, that's RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, on Tuesday attacked the left sympathizers, terming them as cultural Marxists who are selfish, discriminatory and deceitful. The undesirable forces, he accused them of trying to take control of the media and academia and plunge the nation into confusion, chaos and corruption. Now he is actually referring to what happened in Manipur. So there are, definitely there will be a foreign nation also involved, and foreign forces, so to say. Bhagwat said to achieve narrow political gains, attempts are being made to forge alliance with these undesirable forces in the country to defeat political rivals. Speaking at the Vijayadashmi Utsav in Nagpur, Bhagwat wondered whether there was a hand of extremists from across the border in violence in Manipur. He said a strong political will and efficiency is needed to control the situation in the state. Definitely a strong political will is needed, that is well said. And it's not only the foreign forces, there are, it's an amalgamation of different factors that has given rise. We have gone through that once, and Bharat, can you just help me with, where do I see, okay. Where is the board? So let's quickly go through, as I also got inspired by BJP. So let me just come back and refresh the memory of everybody. So what happens here? So we have the hill area and we have the plains. So these are the plains and the hills. And we have a bordering nation called Burma or Myanmar. So this is another country. This is India. These hills belong to India. And we have, the Myanmar is the neighboring country for this region. Now what happens is the population residing here are the Meiteis, who are in majority, nearly more than 60%. More than 60% of the population resides in the plains, all right? And then we have the hills where the remaining 40%, the number is not exact, it might vary, but the ratio is nearly the same. Now, the problem is, the challenge is the resources the land mass is only 10%. 60% of the population residing in only 10% of the area, but the advantage is power. So they enjoy the power. They are in majority. So they are the ones who actually, if you see any, let it be the political power or be it any organization or government organization, they are the ones primarily enjoying the power, are the Meiteis. And on the hills we have the Kuki community. I might be spelling Kuki wrong. So the Kuki and Meitei community, they are considered under scheduled tribes. They are under this category of scheduled tribes, owing to which they have the full control of the land or the hills that belong to them. And no Meitei can actually buy any land on the hills. So they do not have access to the resources. So resources are present with the Kuki community or with the people residing or with the minority community, so to say, because their percentage is less. So minority has the resources, the power lies with the majority. Now that is the conflict. Now they want to extend the population. There is a lot of stress because it's only 10% of land mass that they are occupying. So all the resources are being consumed really quick, and they would need to buy some land out there, which they cannot because they do not have the ST status. If they are not scheduled tribes, so they cannot buy land in the hills. So that was one of the reasons. Meiteis were demanding scheduled tribe status for themselves as well, which was opposed by the Kuki community, because if Meiteis get access to that, they will have power and land both. So a line needs to be drawn, a political will needs to be there, so that there is a similarity. We draw a parallel as to Kukis get their share of representation in power, in politics and government jobs and everywhere. So that has to be done. On the other hand, resources are to be provided to the Meiteis. That also has to be taken care of. So there has to be an accord between the two communities. Somebody has to sit there. I'm surprised to see why is central government not intervening out there. What is Amit Shah, brilliant mind. He can actually go there and take care of the situation. He can have a word. The Home Minister can go there, have a word with both the communities, and he can actually get this solved. I have high hopes from him. So that is one factor, people. And apart from that, people also give it a religious spin, because majority of the Kuki community, people follow Christianity, and Meiteis are comprising of Hindus and Muslims. With Muslims being in minority there, the major population is that of Hindus are Meiteis. So people gave a religious spin also to this. Apart from this, why did I write Myanmar here? Because there was a coup last year in Myanmar, owing to which, now if you see, this is a border area and it's porous. People from Myanmar and the Kuki community are related as well. So around 4,000 people from Myanmar came inside India and they were settled on the hills. What did they start doing? They started, cultivating drugs. In fact, they started peddling drugs, and that also became an issue. Now, these 4,000 people were actually a burden, and they were not Indian nationals. So that was another issue that triggered the situation so bad. So definitely, it's not the hand of a foreign nation. Myanmar did not want or intentionally did not do this, but it was a repercussion of the turmoil, the political turmoil that Myanmar went through, owing to which we had people coming inside India. 4,000 was the number that was quoted then. So these are the three different reasons, prime reasons, so to say. And also we had, there was another community that actually, Nagas is another community that they have. There are multiple tribes existing out there in Mizoram. So, and how do I get out of this? Yeah, here we go. So coming back to our news, let's see. So what Mohan Bhagwat had to say, it was only one aspect of it that he was speculating that there might be a hand of a foreign nation. There definitely is, but it is not intentional. Myanmar did not want this, but it did happen. So moving on, people, we just had a quick refresher, and let's see who all are there with us today, owing to which I did not log into my own channel. So where is my okay, Q News English. So let's see who all have joined us today. And here we are. In the comment section, yesterday also somebody was there. Lakshman Gunde is here. Hello Lakshman, welcome. And we have Selvarajan along with Ramesh and Vishal with Balraj. Altaf, Anna Telugu translation chey. Many cheptundi. Adikeri Ardham Kadu, please. Andariki Ardham Kadu, please. So Altaf wants me to translate. Altaf, definitely we will have a Sudarshan, we will have our very own Teenmallanna also shortly, So this channel is exclusively started. Exclusive ga start chesna so that, you can understand, you can learn, or the people across India, mana mottam Bharat Deshamlo అందరికీ అర్థమవుతుంది ఏం జరుగుతుంది తెలంగాణలో ఏం జరుగుతుంది తెలంగాణ పీపుల్కి అర్థమవుతుంది ఏం జరుగుతుంది మొత్తం నేషన్లో దానికోసమే స్టార్ట్ చేసిన సో ధనాజీ నాయక్ ఇస్ సేయింగ్ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ బాస్ వీ హ్యావ్ శ్యామ్ సుందర్ కోడసు సేయింగ్ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సర్ and Bhagya Kumar along with Vanaja also wishing us all a very good morning. So people do let me know, in fact don't let me know, I already know my Telugu, I am trying to speak Telugu. I can understand Telugu very well, but speaking will be a bit difficult for me, but yes, I can definitely try once in a while. And thank you so much for being there with us. And following this, what do we have here? The Shera also, there is a trend to, we see a lot of people in southern parts of India worship their cars, or their vehicles. Whatever vehicle they ride, they clean that vehicle, they clean their houses, and also they take the vehicles to the temples and they conduct a puja at their home also for their vehicles. But there is also, a trend for an army man, for defense personnel on the eve of the Shera. What do? They have their vehicle or their firearm is like their body part. It is always attached to them, especially when you are at the borders. It's a necessity, and that's the firearm that they worship. That's what saves them. That's what remains with them during the need of the hour. And what do we have here? Rajnath at Tawang LAC post checks army ops. Now Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, is out there along with the Jawans, with the army men. delivering a tough message to China. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh on Tuesday reached the forward post of Bumla in Tawang district of Arunachal Pradesh. Point to ponder, people, about Arunachal Pradesh. There was a media house that was in news, and it was specifically paid around 18 crores to mention Arunachal Pradesh not as a part of, to depict Arunachal Pradesh not as a part of India. And also China claims Arunachal Pradesh to be a part of theirs. So he was very much there at Arunachal Pradesh, and he carried out a first-hand on-ground assessment of the operational preparedness of the armed forces. Singh performed Shastra Puja, worship of weapons, and celebrated Dasara with soldiers in this strategically key region that is close to the frontier with China. It's strategically very important, and yesterday, if you were with us, we did read that China is building a lot of infrastructure around the border areas. What is India doing? India has also been building infrastructure so that, the arms and the supplies reach the defense forces on time when the need arises. There should not be any delay for any garrison to arrive. The defense minister, accompanied by Army Chief General Manoj Pandey, interacted with the troops deployed at the frontline locations along the line of actual control. Singh was briefed about the strategic points at the Bumla, which also has the Indo-China border personal meeting point. So this is where, there have been talks going on between India and China after the Galwan incident that we witnessed. So there have been like more than 18 or 19 rounds, but no objective has been attained. So, and this is the point where they actually conduct the meetings between the different leaders of the forces. Now, last year in December, Indian and Chinese troops clashed in the Yangtze area of Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh. Tawang is a key center for Buddhism and is a key region having significant strategic importance. India has been ramping up military infrastructure in the region in last few years. So India is also gearing up, or is also geared up, and it's ramping up the infrastructure in this particular area. The defense minister visited the Tawang War Memorial, laid a war and offered tributes to the bravehearts who made the supreme sacrifice during the 1962 Indo-China War. For those of you who do not know about this war, India lost this war really, really bad, owing to the governance prevailing at that point in time, wherein our army, was reduced. They were not being supplied enough arsenal, or they did not even have the bullets. They were, in fact, there was a suggestion to include them to make pots from clay. Why that was being done? Because what thought India had is Pakistan has emerged out of India. So India gave money to Pakistan at that point in time to be self-sustained, and it was created out of India, and we were brother in arms prior to 1947 or the partition. So India always thought, why would Pakistan attack India? And it was considerably small in size as well. So India said, or our western borders are safe. On the other hand, there was a call out that Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai. That was the slogan that was often raised, and China had never attacked India prior to this. So India was, why would India need army? That was the thought at that point in time. But China took advantage of this, and in 1962, the bloody war that we faced, the number of casualties was on the higher side. If you want, we can actually have a detailed or a short, assessment of that as well. I can present to you the challenges that we faced in 1962 war. It came to a point when the Indian army did not have the food, they did not have the bullets to fire. They had the courage, they laid down their lives, but they did not have the ammunition to fight. and a lot of women folks out here in India. All the trucks were also deployed. I still remember the stories being told by my mother. So they all gave their gold ornaments also, whatever ornaments they had, they used to give those ornaments to support our soldiers. All the truck owners, the unions, truck unions, drivers unions, they all supported. They did not charge even a single rupee. Any army man who had to travel, my father was a part of this war as well, along with his 3 brothers. So all 4 of them were very much there. Now, so it's a hair-raising, experience when I recall, or the way they used to tell us about this. So Singh asserted that there was no option but to bolster the country's security apparatus. Definitely. Now these are the this is a sniper that he is actually, it is being displayed out there. There are 2 snipers that are there, and you usually use machine guns in such areas, and both of them have a stand that you can see. All right, so that's, I can actually talk about tanks as well. I have sat in a tank, I have ridden a tank also. In fact, and it is very loud. It is very loud. After that, I could not hear anything for next half an hour. Now moving on, let's see. Modi to woo Chhattisgarh voters. Now this is the news about Chhattisgarh, and on the back foot in the tricky terrains of Chhattisgarh, the BJP's election campaign is built around its main voting machine, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, to take on the Congress. Now in Chhattisgarh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be the prime campaigner. That's what it means. And they will to take on Congress. The BJP will unleash a propaganda blitz against the alleged corruption and misgovernance of the Bhupesh Baghel government in the state. How successful they will be, only time can tell. This time around, as far as I can see, I can feel, Telangana Congress has a very strong hold, be it, about Andhra. Then you have YSRCP. They have a very strong hold out there. But with Chhattisgarh, Congress does have a strong hold. And will BJP be? And Rajasthan is dicey. It might, it might be BJP out there in Rajasthan. We'll have to wait and watch. Now, BJP will unleash a propaganda blitz against the alleged corruption and misgovernance of the Bhupesh Baghel government in the state. Sources in the Saffron camp said that the party's entire campaign in Chhattisgarh will revolve around Modi and his inclusive governance model, as the central leadership has decided to contest the elections under collective leadership. The Prime Minister is most popular leader, and he will lead our campaign in Chhattisgarh. Our campaign will highlight the unprecedented all-round development of the state in the last 9 years under the Modi's government, sources said. So now they are going to highlight all the achievements that India made, be it the Chandrayaan, that is the achievement of ISRO, or be it in the field of sports, whatever India achieved. Now all that will be brought up again, be it the formation of be it the building of Ram Mandir, as we read earlier. So all that will be brought again, and they will say, we developed India this much, and now it is time for Chhattisgarh to be developed, so people vote for us. So that is how it is going to be. And besides riding on the charisma of Modi, the BJP has also decided to corner the Congress by attacking the Baghel government for corruption and its misgovernance in the states. So it is for the public of Chhattisgarh to decide whether there was corruption or whether there was development, whether the promises were made and kept, or were the promises just made and not kept. So that is what the public is going to gauge Bhupesh Baghel and his government on. And moving on, we have India likely to, that's a big news coming in there for 2030 people. What we might witness, India likely to trump Japan as world's third top economy right now. India ranks number 5 amongst the entire world. On one hand, we have countries like China which are fighting, for redemption. Their economy is in doldrums. It's going down day by day. On the other hand, the news that we have here from India, the world's 5th largest economy, is likely to overtake Japan to become the world's 3rd largest economy with a GDP of $7.3 trillion by 2030. S&P Global Market Intelligence said in its latest issue of PMI. After 2 years of rapid growth in 2021 and 2022, the Indian economy has continued to show sustained strong growth during 23 calendar year. India's GDP is expected to grow 6.2 to 6.3% in the fiscal year ending in March 2024, being the fourth fastest growing major economy. Asia's 3rd largest economy grew by a 7.8% in April to June. The near-term economic outlook is for continued rapid expansion during the remainder of 2023 and 24, underpinned by the strong growth in domestic demand, S&P Global said. So that's a good news for all of us that India might be amongst the top 4 economies in the world. So moving on, see this is, and to this, what do we have here? China has replaced Defense Minister General Li Shangfu, who has been out of public view for almost 2 months. So it's been 2 months and their defense minister was nowhere. He was not to be seen anywhere. This can happen only in China. A country's defense minister, now we just saw Rajnath Singh conducting Shastra Puja. But China's defense minister was vanished for 2 months. It can only happen in China. And why did that happen? China has appointed Landform, a technocrat with little central government experience, as the new finance minister. State media said on Tuesday, as government ramps up fiscal stimulus in a bid to revive the economy, they are now launching stimulus packages to revive the economy, to give a boost to the economy. Now moving on, 61, who was named the Communist Party chief at the Finance Ministry last month, has succeeded Liu Kun. So this is what China is doing, and on the other hand, India is aspiring to be the world's 4th country, when it comes to the GDP. So moving on, as a top economy. So we have gone through this. And what do we have here? Parties vie for 9.5 lakh votes of the state government staff. I wish Mallanna would have been here to comment on this, especially this part, because major political parties are eyeing the vote bank of nearly 9.5 lakh state government employees, pensioners, contract and outsourcing employees. The Bharatiya Rashtriya Samiti is seeking their support on ground that it had enhanced salaries and pensions for staff by 73% in 9 years. Now, how true is that? Had that been the case, did the salaries actually get into their accounts? That's another big question. So let's see. They say we have hiked, it enhanced salaries and pensions for the staff by 73% in 9 years, while the opposition parties are trying to cash in on the anger and disappointment of state staff against the BRS government for failing to pay salaries on the 1st of every month. Now, this is very important aspect, people. There has to be a fixed day if the salary has to be paid. Because be it the government employees or be it the private company employees, they have their EMIs, they have their expenses to be taken care of every month on a specific date. That's what a majority of the middle class people do. If they have to buy a house, they take a home loan. And that's how a trap actually gets created. It all starts from there. Now, if your EMI bounces, you have to pay the penalty to the bank, and there will be bounce charges also, nearly 600 odd rupees will be the bounce charges. Along with that, penalties will also be levied by the authority from whom you have taken the loan. So this is very important, as if they do not get the salaries on time and there is no fixed date, that is, they are trying to say first, let it be 3rd or let it be 10th, but there has to be a fixed date so that a person can plan his or her expenses accordingly. And not clearing the pending 3 DA arrears. So dearness allowance arrears are also pending for not scrapping CPS, contributory pension schemes, and restoring OPS, old pension scheme, besides the delay in setting up new pay revision committee. So these are the allegations, On one hand, they say that they increased, or the salary had been enhanced to 73%. That's what BRS claims. People do not deny that. But has that benefit reached the people? That is what they are being questioned at. So right call, very good call by the opposition on this aspect. This is what we expect. Government launches a scheme or anything. Now, do they actually implement it? How well are they implementing it? If you create a wonder like the Kaleshwaram project, world's largest project, good. It will help farmers, it will help people with drinking water. But if there are irregularities, if the entire barrage is going down, that will have devastating effect that needs to be questioned. On the other hand, you counter the other states, you are looking at other states that Karnataka does not have power supply, which is a clear-cut lie. Owing to which, it reminds me that there is a campaign that has been started by Q News to unveil the truth behind whatever exists on the ground as is. Owing to which there will be a bus yatra that will be starting from here in Telangana, and we will go to Karnataka, we will visit Karnataka, we will meet the Chief Minister of Karnataka as well. So arrangements are being made. There are a lot of efforts, a lot of time being spent, a lot of energy. People, it's not easy to have 10 buses arranged, and we need to take care of the accommodation. Everything will be taken care by Q News. So please do join us. There will be a link also. You need to fill a Google form if you want to travel to Karnataka and see for yourself as to what is the reality. You are more than welcome to Bangalore. I reside in Bangalore. I've just come here on a visit. I can guarantee you, without electricity, I do have an inverter, but this TV will not switch on with an inverter that we have. But I telecast every day from there. How do I do that? How do I do that? If we don't have, they say you get electricity only for 5 hours. I'm sorry, that is not the case. There might be some glitch owing to which we might not have electricity for 10 to 15 minutes. That's the ETA. That's all. Or maximum you take it as half an hour. I have not seen electricity go beyond that. So yeah, we went through that as well. So please, let's see. Judges stabilize fast changing society, says CGI, and Nath was keen on SP tie-up, says Digvijay Singh. So Kamal Nath is whom he's referring to. Veteran Congress leader Digvijay Singh said he has no clue about the factors that led to the collapse of seat-sharing talks between Congress and Samajwadi Party. He, however, asserted that MP Madhya Pradesh Party chief Kamal Nath was honest on an alliance with INDIA, partners for the assembly polls in the state. Speaking for the first time on the issue, Singh told that Nath was very sincere about the Congress-SP alliance in Madhya Pradesh. The Samajwadi Party, which had won 1 seat in Bijawar in the 2018 assembly polls wanted 6 seats. I suggested Nath leave 4 seats for the party, he said. The CWC left the matter to the state party leadership to take a call on it. I don't know where this alliance talk got derailed, but as far as Nath is concerned, I can say that he wanted to have an alliance with the Samajwadi Party with full honesty, he said. So a lot of equations, out there when it comes to the, a poll-bound state. So that is what Madhya Pradesh is also going through, and we will witness the developments in forthcoming days, and I will be here to present that to you. So thank you people for today. This is Vijay Rana signing off from Q News English from our studios in Telangana, and handing over the baton to Mallanna and Sudarshan. So thank you so much people. Jai Hind.